Yeah, drink being the operative word. Yeah, you get fucked.
Best in German food and drink.
Yeah. We know what's going to happen to you.
Live music from the Apple Strudel Gang.
Yeah. So getting back to your homophobia.
I'm not. Shut up. I'm not talking about that.
You want to talk about what you were talking about in the restaurant?
I was not talking about anything. Just stop.
You're against gay marriage. You will explain why.
Stop with the camera.
Why? Are you embarrassed by what you said? Your convictions seem very strong in there. Why don't you tell me what they are? Because
I already put them all over.
Because it makes you sound like a homophobe, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. I've already been through this debate all over Facebook and Twitter and everything else. My opinions are all out.
So what's wrong with YouTube?
There's nothing wrong with YouTube. I just don't
So you're
feel like
slighting YouTube, in other words. You think YouTube watchers are somehow lesser than Facebook or those other places? They want to hear your opinions too. Come on, let's hear them.
I'm not a homophobe. I just don't believe in it because I don't believe that people who have religious convictions should have those religious convictions taken for granted.
What the hell has that got to do with gay marriage?
It has everything to do with it because that's why she went to jail, because she refused to sign the thing so that they wouldn't be able to get married, because she has to put her name on it, and because she has religious convictions that she doesn't want to do that. That's why they put her in jail. And I don't think that's right.
But she's a public servant, right?
I don't care.
No, I mean she doesn't work in the private sector. This is
I don't care.
Was it a court clerk, county clerk?
I guess a county clerk.
Yeah, I guess it would be a county clerk issuing marriage licenses. Yeah.
But I don't care whatever the reason is.
So,
I don't think it's right.
if she took your marriage,
nothing against gay people.
if she took your marriage license, looked at it, and said, "Is that a Jewish name? I'm not going to issue this to you. It violates my convictions as a Nazi."
How would that have any bearing on anything? That's not against her religious convictions.
No, I'm just saying. What if a public servant did that? How would you feel about it?
Then I would go to another clerk. Who didn't feel that way.
Oh, I see. And you wouldn't want that clerk disbarred, removed, fired, even though they were Nazi.
Now you're saying they're Nazi.
No, I'm just saying, using as an example of the German marriage laws, 1936, I think it was, the Munich law, the Nuremberg laws, when public servants were required to ask certain questions of people who wanted marriage licenses, who wanted all this other stuff, and denying them on grounds.
You're talking about something totally different. You're talking about
but
Germany.
They were public.
You're talking about Germany, where you didn't have any other option, and as opposed to the U.S., where you do have lots of other options.
Yeah, like doing your job, for instance.
She was doing her job. Why should she have to do something that goes against her religious convictions?
Now, you see, it goes against my personal convictions to give driver's license to people who've had a DUI.
But you're not even.
So how would you feel if you went to the DMV to get your license renewed and I was there smiling at you behind the counter, I tapped up your record, boom, look at that. You've had a DUI. I'm sorry, I'm not going to approve your license.
Okay, have a nice day, and I would go to one that would.
What if I was the chief of it all?
Because they have other options.
But what if I was the chief of it all? I was the head DMV. And I denied you your license.
Meaning that I couldn't go anywhere else?
Well, not in New York State.
Well, then I would just appeal it. I wouldn't,
You wouldn't think I was a schmuck, I should be out of my job.
No, I wouldn't think that.
For denying you your license and making you walk everywhere.
No, I would not think that.
The minute I turn off the camera, we're going to hear another opinion, people.
No. No. I would not.
Or what if I was behind the counter and said, I've seen you on YouTube. There's no way in hell I'm giving you a license after that.
Stop it.
I know how much you drink and how much you smoke.
Oh, God.
You see, public officials have to follow the law. If they don't, it's chaos. That's why we have rule of law, not rule of church.
Then that law needs to be changed.
To what?
Because religious freedoms need to be protected, too.
Not when they impinge on the public's rights.
Yes, they do.
Oh, not in this country. We have separation of church and state here.
They need to be.
We have a very strong separation of church and state.
I don't care. It needs to be changed.
Now, Spain, 400 years ago, they had no separation of church and state. You know what happened? The church burned people at the stake, burned them, because their religious convictions weren't the same as the church's religious convictions. And the state allowed it. In fact, the state encouraged it. Now, we don't have that here because the people that made this country, we came over here to get away from that kind of bullshit. We didn't want it here. So we decided that we separated church and state, and that public employees would follow the law that the people decide what it is. Now, if the people tomorrow tell their representatives, hey, you got to stop this gay marriage bullshit. You got to stop it right now. You get rid of that law, and all the representatives got together in Congress, and they pulled back on that law, got rid of it. That's the people speaking. then the public servants wouldn't be allowed to issue those licenses anymore because it's not the law of the land anymore. But that's not what the public said. Apparently, the public supports it. Otherwise, the representatives of the people would not have passed it. Now, the people who work for the DMV and the county clerk's office and the garbage sanitation department, whatever, they're all public servants being paid by the people, not by private industry. If they choose to ignore the laws of the people have a right to remove them, no matter what their convictions are. They said you had a job to do.
The laws need to be changed.
Well, that's fine. You have to change the law and then deny the license. That's how you do it. You don't just say, well...
But she's bringing a lot of attention to it now, so maybe she'll get the law changed.
What she's getting is mostly negative attention.
Not
because,
necessarily.
Unfortunately for her, most people just don't give a shit.
But there are a lot of people like me who were on Facebook and Twitter who were supporting her too.
Geeks. Yeah.
He's here.
Okay, we'll get back to your homophobia and racism later.
Stop it.
Is that open, Poppy? All right. Oh, no, I forgot.
Oh, Jim, we got one of these.
The hell is that? That's the light switch from the top. I don't know.
Yeah, here too.